This is Mike Franklin, and I'm going to talk about my Challenger 2 project. It's a 2001 Quad City Challenger 2. I just recently purchased, and it's been in this barn setup for 20 years. I bought it from the original person who built it, who's a dealer, and I'm seeking comments for anybody familiar with these things. I've never uh, had a project of this nature with an experimental airplane. Um, I do have some hours in a Piper Colt, but that's a fully certificated airplane. And so I'm familiar with the ramifications of the money that you have to spend to keep those things going. But an experimental is a different animal. This airplane, I'm told, has 150 hours approximately on it. With the original motor, it's a Rotax 503, and the reason I'm doing this video is that I was watching another guy who had a Challenger 2, and he had a tornado or something go through, took out his. He had a remote property, bunch of acreage, and he had a pole barn type of a thing, and the storm just absolutely destroyed his hangar. It was just spewed all over the place, and his airplane, uh, ended up, across the pasture a ways, upside down, and it bent it up pretty good, and it ended up upside down, and the top of the wings were messed up, and so he had to recover the entire airplane. He had to redo a bunch of the tubing because it was bent. And but anyway, he did a bunch of videos documenting that whole process. And and then next thing he's got the thing done, and he puts it up for sale. And he in his video for his advertisement, he's saying that he doesn't have an airworthy for it, that there's corrosion, and that he's selling it as a parts plane, basically in an auction process. So, he just, he went through all this stuff, but he has no videos of actually flying the airplane. At one point he was driving the thing around without the wings on it. But then he was looking to sell it, and then no videos after that. And it's been like 4 years. So you don't know what happened. Well, I'm wondering if, because he was the one that was working on it, that he was never able to get the thing, to pass inspection again. Um, so I don't know what happened. And so it's kind of concerning. He was saying something about, corrosion. Well, this airplane's been sitting here for 20 years, so I don't really know what to expect. It hasn't been outside. It hasn't been used much. And so, I'm concerned about whether I will have any issues getting the thing. I've got the airworthy certificate, but is that transferable from the original person who built it? I'm allowed to work on the plane, but what impact does that have? It still has to be inspected every year. I'm wondering if I'm going to have any trouble in that regard, kind of like that guy did, because he went through. I mean, he recovered the entire airplane, took the wings off, and redid the wings, and he cut the skin right off the entire airplane, and he redid the whole thing, and he painted it, and the thing looked pretty good. Um, but then all of a sudden his videos just stopped. Um, and he had one video where he was exasperated, I think might be the word. And that was one of his last videos. And you know, it's like that airplane's never going to fly again because maybe you can't get the thing certificated. But so anyway, I'm going to look into that for this airplane to see what the ramifications are of that. And if anybody has any comments or any thoughts on what it is that I can expect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the thing up. I'm going to get the bird poop up off it. I'm going to get all the I'm going to evict the spiders, get the thing cleaned up, and we'll take a look at the motor. I'm not going to spend a ton of money doing anything until I am fully confident that this thing could be reinspected. I don't want to throw away a lot of money to learn the same thing that other guy apparently didn't learn. I would love to hear from him to see how the whole thing turned out. But anyway, if anybody has any thoughts on all of that, like I say, the thing's got 150 hours. It looks pretty good. It's got a lot of bird poop on top of those wings, and they left the doors off it, so there's some, so it's kind of grungy on the inside. You can look around the web page and check out the interior, and this is what the dash used to look like, and here's what it looks like now. So I got to clean it up. A lot of spider webs and stuff. I've got other cushions for it. It's not a big deal. I think it'll clean up pretty easy. My Piper I bought sat for about 15 years, and the guy had rebuilt the motor, and then he got sick, and he only put 52 hours on it after rebuilding the motor, and then it sat for 15 years. And then the next guys bought it, put about 300 hours on it, and then I bought it from them. I put about 200 hours on it, and then I just sold the thing. And they got probably close to 100 hours in it by now. But anyway, so that one, it turned out, even though it sat all those years, it was still fine. And so the question is, this thing was flying 3 or 4 years ago, so it didn't sit for 15 years, and it was functional at that time, is what I'm told. Here's the engine. It's a Rotax 503, and I'm just going to clean it up. But like I said, I'm a little concerned about the experience of the other guy, and whether or not I can expect corrosion in this thing, and whether or not I'll be able to get the thing airworthy again. So again, if anybody has any thoughts on this, I'm pretty new to all this, and I'm just beginning this journey to get this thing going. So any thoughts, please please comment, and if you subscribe, I'll be doing further videos to let you know my project and how the project is going, and it'll give you updates if you subscribe. Again, this is Mike Franklin, 2001 Challenger2.com, and I'll be keeping you posted as to what transpires with this airplane. Hopefully, I'll get the thing flying someday soon. Thank you very much.